Welcome to Athens Twilight. This is one of the biggest career races in the country. And for pretty good reason. There's huge crowds here. Really fun to watch. Fun, hard course. And yeah, a lot of big names show up. All the international names that do crit racing tend to come to this one. It's right in the middle of Speed Week, which is a series in the Georgia Southeast area. And here we have on the left Luke Fetzer and Lucas Burgoyne, both of which are wearing leaders jerseys. And right here in the middle, these are big old pylons, and they're raised. And right back here in the field, there's actually a huge crash, and that crash causes a bunch of guys to get hurt, which is not good. That's a problem, obviously. I don't have a solution for anybody, but Noah Granigan, one of the Blazers guys, actually ended up like breaking his pelvis or breaking his femur right at the pelvis, so not good. Right on the first lap here. So we're coming through. We have a preem immediately, and we actually get neutralized. You can see right there is the moto and a car stopping us, and now we all have to come to a grinding halt. And last year, I remembered, once we got neutralized, I got shuffled back like 60 spots. So I did not want to do that this time, and just had to like follow these dudes because they always get pissed when you like move up, but everybody does it. So another problem there's no solution to. Anyway, we get going once again, and course gets cleared. Everybody gets sent to, pit, hospital, wherever they're going. I've got a plan in this race, and that is to stay in the top 10 wheels, because my director John Hamlin told me to do that, and I figured that was good enough. So that's the plan, and that's kind of what we're gonna do. We've got David Gudenplan there on the right, Matthew Crabb on the left. We're just gonna keep filtering through, following the holes, filling holes. We've got Kingdom Elite Racing there, Brian Gomez, Legion is here, Automatic Abus, all the big teams really in the country show up to Athens. A little squirreliness on the right out there. And yeah, we're getting into the race. First lap without a neutralization is done, and then we get a little bit farther and attacks start to go. I think that's Fetzer sending a move nice and early right over the top, and look, there are dudes off the front already jumping in behind. Maybe this is Fetzer, and maybe Burgoyne was off the front. They both have leaders jerseys on and the same color of everything else. Anyway, we get going. We get in like 15 minutes, and I'm sitting on Clever Martinez's wheel here. There's a preem this lap, and Clever just kind of winds it up. Like, this isn't crazy. I'm doing like 900 watts. It's a good wind up. Don't get me wrong, but we're going fast. Like, we're going 32 up a hill. But it's not crazy. I look back. We've got a big old gap. Guy let our wheel go, and I tell Clever, like, let's boogie. And so roll smooth through here, just stay on the power. We hit it pretty hard for the first like lap or two just to like get a little gap going, but from here on out, we're just going to be rolling smooth. I'm going to take kind of the base of the hill all the way to like the pylons here, and then Clever is going to roll through and take this back stretch into the base of the hill. So we each do 2 corners, each do a good bit of a straight, and I felt like it was pretty fair. Like, I was taking the uphill, so Clever wasn't getting quite that much rest behind me, although there's a slight headwind on the uphill. We just rolled super smooth. I'm not sure if my power meter was telling me the right things, because like you can see my heart rate's 180 beats per minute here. I was like outside in the heat all day watching our ladies race, so maybe that made heart rate high, but like we only did like 350, 360 watts for this whole breakaway. So that's not crazy. Like, that's not groundbreaking power by any stretch of the imagination. And we're just rolling smooth. I feel like we really were able to nail the corners and everything. And then we get 20 minutes, 25 minutes later, and we can see the back of the field, and I decide I don't want to take Clever with me to the back of that field, so I just send one good move after his pull up the hill, and I look back right now. He's got pretty good gap back there to me, and he looks like he's hurting. He looked like he was hurting a little bit, and I mean, he had the harder pull, so he should be hurting. I had these corners nailed down pretty well. Clever was staying on my wheel for him, but ended up catching the field, and Clever had not caught the field yet. You can see one of his foundation teammates back there waiting for him. He had a good few guys during this race. Strong dudes. He's got Mendez. He's got Fergus Arthur. And 2 other guys that are all hitters in this. I am dive bombing corners right now, trying to get to the front as quickly as possible. There's Mendez. And, yeah, just going to try and make it up to the front. Hopefully Clever can't do it. Although Clever's a dog. Clever's a good sprinter. He's got good pack skills, and really, he's got a team. I'm just really gonna have to like get lucky here to beat Clever in the sprint after we just lapped the field at Athens Twilight, which is insane. I've got my teammate here, Eli, on the right. I'm gonna ask him, Eli, can you take me up? He said yeah. So Eli's gonna burn himself. Thanks, Eli. We're going to roll through for like a full 2 laps on his wheel. Pulling me up, getting me some positions, giving me a little draft. Awesome moves from Eli here. Really helped me out. And, yeah, he burnt up. It was awesome. Thanks again, Eli. Now we're up on the hill. We got an hour left in this race still. So this is like a normal crit coming up, passing my other teammate, Zach. And yeah, I'm just going to try and get to the front. I can see there's like a move off the front of this like main pack. And so if another move laps up, it makes my chances of doing well in this race a lot worse. We get kind of in earshot of that group, and I still had like pretty good legs, so I attacked up and over the hill and then come through on that next downhill. We're pretty close. Kyle Teasler like was on my wheel. He rolls through and just drops me hard, but eventually it was brought back. Still 55 minutes left in this race. I am on what looks like Danny Summerhill's wheel here, and Danny does a little wind up into another group, and it looks like there's rider off the front here. People were sending it this race, like trying to take another lap. Danny sends the inside, and Richard kind of takes it. So I lose the gap. I figure that was not that threatening, so I just kind of let it go. A few laps later here, less than that, probably the same lap, I am on an automatic rider's wheel. We talked about this after the race. That's not sped up. Like, that's his cadence. He said he hit 130 RPM on that little move, and I am just not willing to be doing that. But luckily, I made up some ground in this corner here on the wheel of an EF rider. Which possible Enzo Hincapie. Ty Magner, homeboy, is sending attacks. Danny looks back like, anybody gonna do anything? Legion kind of blocks it a little bit. So there are dudes up the road, and it's kind of getting crunch time for me to like not let guys get up the road. 50 minutes is plenty of time for someone to lap, which we just proved it can be done in 20 minutes if the field's chill enough. Luckily, I'm going to be able to use this foundation team, which they have this guy right here, Mendez, and he's just going to pull stuff back like a dog. It was awesome. But every once in a while stuff would go, they'd run out of dudes, following automatic yet again over the top, hoping to keep everything together until the end. And, you know, they have Clever. Like, Clever's a great sprinter. He's won a lot of crits in a sprint. I'm going to have to get off the front, too, at some point. So I'm following attacks. I follow Ty Magner here, who is the hometown favorite. He's got that home course advantage. Robin Carpenter, after we get caught, sends a move of his own. This is actually pretty threatening for me, but I'm pretty tapped out at this point, so I'm just gonna kind of fold into the field as much as I can, rest a little bit. If something gets like enough of a gap, I'm gonna have to go across to it, but with 42 minutes to go, I'm really just gonna have to be like as selective as I need to be to make things happen. But it started coming back together, and then yeah, it break apart again. I was just trying to follow momentum as much as possible, but here I'm doing like a lot of watts to stay on this Legion Rider's wheel. They've got a lot of guys, and they missed this move. Looks like they don't want to pull in the front, which makes sense. They just want to send a guy across, lap the field up. There was one point, we'll probably see a little bit later, where Legion had a rider, Foundation had a rider, and Skyline, Gaden Skyline had a rider in a move, which was super scary for me, because all those teams are going to stop the field from chasing, hop on my wheel, cover and kill moves, and eventually Mendez actually got on the front and pulled it back. We'll see if we see that a little bit later. But following, yeah, momentum here, trying to just stay on wheels, not spend too much energy, but stay up towards the front as much as possible. We're getting down to 36 minutes left to go in this race, which is good news for me. Danny's cutting my line off a little bit, not intentionally, but we eventually pulled that little move back anyway. It was a weird race. These gaps would form, which normally would be pretty threatening, but in the corners, like, they would kind of sit up sometimes, and it would all come back together, which, yeah, great for me, because I don't have to pull stuff back, but lots of preems, really breaking things up. Got these three riders off the front here. I was getting nervous. Something was going to go and lap. And I don't really have a bunch of team power to keep me in a good position for the sprint at this race. So my best bet of winning is going to be to get in a little smaller move that Foundation can't pull back. And hopefully we stay like a little bit off the front so I don't have to sprint clever. We have Jim Brown on the left there taking a tumble. Apparently like an EF rider just came into him and perfectly broke him. Right there you saw Zach Rivenbark doing a little pull on the front, trying to get a breakaway back. There was a breakaway up the field. I think up the road, I think this is the one with the Skyline rider and the Foundation rider up in it. So I'm really going to get motivated to get across to that. I believe it eventually came back. No, it definitely eventually came back, but I think it's already come back by this point. I'm following Tyler Williams' wheel. He's a hitter. If we roll, I'm going to be stoked. Oh, we're still chasing this breakaway back. You can see right there. Tyler takes a pull, gets off the front. I decide to power right over top of it. Fetzer bridges across, and I think Fetzer's just going to like roll through here. Yeah, this is we've got a Legion rider, Foundation rider. It's a good move for them to go off the front. But now we have Mendez just going to take up the front. I think there was a little move off the front again at this point. If not, he had been pacing it pretty well. And we have an automatic rider and a Legion rider sending it pretty hard into these last few corners. Marcos is going to, yeah, just like come back through and pull. He's getting tired, as he should be, because he's been on the front a bunch. And I also don't want things to get away, so I'm rolling through a little bit with him, trying to save as much energy as possible for the end here, but like honestly getting kind of desperate to just get second place. This is late. I probably could have just let this happen and saved energy looking back on it, but yeah, I just kind of want to stay up front. We got 12 minutes to go in this race, so staying as far forward as possible, keeping out of the crap. Richard really taking my space away there into this corner. Stuff like this just happens in the last few laps of Athens, and I think the worst thing that could possibly have happened to me at the end here was to like eat it next to Clever, yelling at him. Pretty stoked that we were able to lap the field. Clever's an awesome guy, so happy to do it with him, but he's still here. He's up front. He's got a team of like 3 or 4 dudes really keeping him in a good position. So I'm going to try and like fold in with them. I kind of followed the momentum around into their train. Just going to try and stay on clever. But yeah, dudes are dive bombing. We got the Lucas Burgoyne inside maneuver. Classic. Sending it. Taking space. Filling holes. And I'm going to try and get back up. Had a little more momentum than I planned here, so actually like got in Clever's way. Just kind of wanted to stick on them, stay safe, but really trying to just like stay up towards the front, even though I was eating a little bit of wind. Wanted to just like not crash this last few laps, which meant staying in the top 15-20 wheels. You saw Alfredo do a little hop over those pylons, which ended up being like a pretty crucial part of the race here. I just heard his wheel is like hissing, so he's got a rear flat, and he does indeed have a rear flat, so he saved it pretty well, but his night is over here with like 2 or 3 laps to go. There's a little gap forming. That freaked me out a bit. My heart rate's pegging again, and gaps are forming. I'm going to have to close down some stuff. I'm going to have to spend some energy to get farther up. I decide right here is a good time to move up. Jim Brown here, back from his little crash. He's on Burgoyne's wheel. These guys are excellent at navigating the field in the last few laps. Got Fetzer on the inside. Marcus Mendez, it looks like he must have taken his pull. I think that's Mendez. And pulled off. Clever is up there in good position. I'm just going to try and get up to him. We've got a lap to go right now, and it is strung out. Dudes are hurting. You can see everybody's like rocking pretty hard. I am also very much so hurting at this point. I've done a lot of work trying to keep that second place position, trying to stay safe as far forward as possible. And right now I'm deciding like I got to get as far up as I possibly can. Like I got to find Clever and like hope I can make it happen. Had a little bit too much momentum into that, and like had to check brakes into the back of Garrison there. So now I'm having to accelerate after that brake check, and Garrison left a little gap here, so it's like, yeah, really against us at this point. I think that's Gibbons on the right there, making a good move up into that gap. I wanted to dive the inside there, just didn't think it was really worth the risk. We're going, 30-something into that turn, and because I was like choking up, I actually had to let like a little gap go into it, and my legs are toast right now. Looks like Garrison doesn't have a bunch of pop left either. I'm just going to try and make it up as much as I can. I think I ended up like 13th in the field sprint, but a second place at Athens, which is like the biggest result I've ever had. Super exciting. I think the odds were against us there, and we made it happen. Excited for some more racing here at Speed Week. Thanks for watching. See ya.